Ferrocarril. It's a pretty hard word to say in Spanish. Well, by the end of this video, you will know everything that you need to do in order to more easily roll your R's in Spanish. So let's take a look at this word, right? Butter, not butter, okay? Butter. We kind of want to exaggerate with that D sound, okay? Say that word with me. Butter. Okay, so notice how when we say that double D sound, we have the tongue go up and hit what is called the alveolar ridge. That is simply that little bump at the top of your mouth, okay? You feel it right there? It's just that little bump at the top of your mouth, okay? Now, when you want to roll your R's in Spanish, make sure to not tense your tongue, okay? So you need it to be relaxed. So you're gonna find that alveolar ridge, and all you are going to do is simply move the tongue either forwards or backwards, and you're going to blow out air. So you're going to feel that bump, go either forwards or backwards. Remember, don't tense your tongue, keep it relaxed, and then you're going to blow out air until you find that sweet spot, okay? So start a little bit far back, then I move the tongue forward, and I eventually kind of got that natural rolling sound. Remember, it's very important, keep the tongue relaxed because otherwise it's not going to trill, it's not going to vibrate, okay? Now, if you can't roll your R's, don't worry. A little story I wanted to share is that in high school, I really wanted to know how to whistle. I started playing the guitar and I said to myself, oh, it'd be really cool to be able to whistle along with songs. And I couldn't do it. But as time went on, I taught myself how to whistle by watching YouTube videos just like this one and practicing every day. Every day when I would walk to class, I would try to whistle to myself. And eventually I became better and better at whistling. So if you can't roll your R's yet, don't worry. Now, let's take a look at some words that we can practice so that you can work on that rolling of the R, okay? But that's really all it is. Finding that bump, keeping the tongue relaxed, moving forwards or backwards, and then blowing out air until you find that sweet spot. You're just gonna have to practice. Okay, so here is the double R spelling. We would call it R, okay? R. Okay, remember that the E's in Spanish are pronounced as E. Okay, so it's R. Okay, R. Okay, all right, now let's look at some more interesting words. How about this one? Tricky. Can you say this word? Perro. Okay, perro. Okay, now you don't have to make it super exaggerated, but for the sake of this exercise, try to, maybe make it a little bit more dramatic when you roll the R. Okay, perro. Okay. Perro, not pero, which arguably the singular R is sometimes harder to pronounce correctly than the double R, okay? But there we have perro, okay? Carro, carro, okay? If you need to break up the words into syllables, right? So carro, you can do that as well. Carro, remember it's not caro because caro with the singular R would be expensive, just like perro with the singular R would mean but, okay? Perro, carro, and this one, ferrocarril. Ferrocarril, okay? Ferrocarril. If you can't pronounce it yet, don't worry, okay? This is just a practice, but I promise you, as long as you practice and as long as you don't give up, you will eventually learn how to roll your R's. Now, if you really have tried a long time to learn how to roll your R's and you just can't, then that's okay, because I have actually met many native Spanish speakers who cannot roll their R's either. In fact, I remember I was on a trip last year to the state of Michoacan in Mexico, and I met my friend's cousin, and she wasn't really able to roll her R's. Everything that she would say with the rolled R would kind of sound like a singular R, but you could understand her based off the context of sentences. So if you can't roll your R's, don't stress too much, but try to practice. You can do it, okay? Rápido, rápido, okay? Now, what's going on here? This is a singular R. Why are we rolling it? Well, when a word in Spanish starts with a singular R, we are going to roll it. I find it harder to say something like rápido instead of rolling, right? Rápido, okay? Rápido, rápido, okay? It's a little bit easier. Now, notice how we have an accent over that ah, okay? Because it's not rápido, right? It's rápido, okay? Naturally, the emphasis on a word in Spanish falls on the second to last vowel, which in this word would be the E. So if there was no accent over the A, this would sound like rapido, okay? But because we have that accent, it's going to be rápido, okay? And finally, we have the word rojo, okay? Rojo, okay? Meaning red. Like I said, this is going to take some practice, and don't get frustrated or discouraged if you can't get it right away. Remember these things, okay? Touch that alveolar ridge, move the tongue either forward or backward. Don't tense up your tongue. Blow out air until you find that sweet spot where your tongue starts to trill, starts to vibrate, okay? All right? Bueno, muchas gracias por ver este video. Espero que hayas aprendido algo nuevo. And if you want to learn more Spanish with me, click the link in the video description so you can join our Fluent Spanish Speaker Academy. Hasta luego.